Okay, everybody should have the PDFs. Today we're going to be working with triplets. Pablo, is that it? Hola. Now, I don't speak Spanish nor Portuguese. Hopefully you speak English. Did you get the PDFs, Pablo? I'm waiting for a couple more people before we start the lesson. Anyway, if you didn't get the PDF, here's my email. Email me and I'll send you the PDF. Can you hear me? Okay, there's a couple more people in here. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. The triplet, the eighth note triplet. Now, there's a counting system that you want to use. And what this exercise is originally for is to develop the level system. If you don't know what the level system is, let me just roughly explain it, because I am in the process of making a few videos for my website for purchase. Anyway, the level system, or you can call it controlled strokes. I have a free stroke, a downstroke, tap, and an upstroke. Now this is also referred to, this stroke, as a free stroke or a full stroke. Now there's a spectrum of sound that you develop with this, because there's a distance. You see the distance from the stick, the drum, the tip of the stick to the drum. There's a whole spectrum there of voices. Now, if I hit the drum from this point, I'm getting a light sound, almost like a ghost note. I bring the stick up a little bit, the stroke is louder. That's considered a half stroke. I bring it back from here, that's a full stroke. That's probably the loudest stroke you want, or the arm stroke. It's not molar or anything like that. Okay, so what we have now is the eighth note triplet. Now I have a few ways of counting the eighth note triplet: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's how I count it. It works for me and it works for all of my students. And occasionally I'll count the triplet as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for subdivisional reasons. For example, 1, 2. I'll do 2 with my left hand, right hand. So on and so forth. Okay? Now, that's just for subdivision. Other people count triplet as 1 triplet, 2 triplet, or 1 ta ta, 2 ta ta. Now, whatever works for you, that's fine. But I count them as 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the first section of the PDF, the first guy, is eighth note triplets with an accent on the first note of the triplet. So the accent is going to be on the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. So for me to get, that's 2 sounds inside of the triplet. I'm going to have an accented and two unaccented notes, but I'm going to have three things occur. I'm going to have a downstroke, a tap, and an upstroke. The upstroke is to put me in position to execute the next accent. One, and the, two, and the, three, and the, down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, tap, up. Okay, and I do it with my right hand. I'm going to play the bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4. Because the way I just did that, on one surface, one voice at a count, it's a linear concept. Now, I just wrote it to the right side, but as you work, what I would suggest you do is don't use the metronome at first. Get the movement going. Make the sound the way you want to do it. The tap and the upstroke sound the same, and the downstroke is constant. Then you want to try it with the left hand. Down, tap, up. Now you want to put the bass drum on the counts of 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you get it, you feel good with it, put the metronome on, 50, 60, whatever you feel good. Actually, the slower you do this, the better it is for you, because you're developing, it takes more control to play slower than fast. So I'm going to play the bass drum on the counts of 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to do the first line 4 measures. Then I'm going to go directly into the second to the left. I'm going to go back and forth to the right with 4 measures, left 4 measures. That's 2, 3, 4, 3, and 2, and 3, and 4. Now it's the 4th time. 4, 2, 3, left hand. 1, 4 measures. 2, 2, 3, and 4, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and now once you get familiar with the, you want to up the tempo. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, pop. Over and over again. 3, 2, 3, 4. Now let me explain what that is. It's half. If you were doing 16th note triplets or a grouping of 6, you're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It leads into a lot of other things. Now, that's the original way that this is written is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4 measure increments. Left, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Okay, now, let's have a little fun with this. We're still going to play right hand. And we're going to interject the bass drum. Now, we're going to make all the accents where the accents fall with the bass drum. No accents with the right. The right is one sound. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, and so forth. Then the next option, okay, where the accent is just going to be the bass drum alone. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a linear concept, but I'm distributing the voices. I'm making the right hand accents the bass drum, between the bass drum and snare drum. So on and so forth. I could take this to another level with the triplet fill-ins. For example, making all the accents just the right hand and all other notes of the triplet left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Combination of the bass drum and right hand. And one more step. You have to be creative with this if you want. Now, there's no right or there is no wrong as long as you maintain the laws of physics. That's the downstroke, the tap, and the upstroke. You're developing the sound, the whole spectrum of sound. The next one I want to do is make the the accents the bass drum only, and fill in with that left hand. But this time I'm going to add my left foot, heel, and toe, 2 and 4. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And with the right hand, we'll play straight ahead time. 1 and the 2 and the 3, 4. Okay? Now we go to line 2. Same concept. I'm doing triplets. One sound. No bass drum. And this time the accent's going to shift over to the da of the triplet. Da 1 and da 2 and da 3 and da 4 and da, or the left hand. Now remember, the movement is tap, up, down. 1 and da. Left hand. Any questions on this so far? Any questions? All right, let me ask that again. Any questions, gentlemen? Hey, Randy, how you doing, man? All right, you understand that. It's just a triplet. Wednesday, I'm going to do the 16th notes. And I'm going to, tonight, if you come to the lesson tonight, you remember, Randy, so you can come, just sign in. I'm going to do some, we're going to do this again, but I'm going to add some random funk patterns. So if your reading skills are up there, and we could have a little fun with some funk. By the way, Pablo, my site is a paid-for site. In order for you to see or view the lesson, you need to be a member. Perhaps you would like to sign up. I'll give you the address, or at least go there and sign the guest book. That should be it. Okay, now, any questions about the other lessons we did last week? A blues gig, all right. I don't know, you crying the blues, huh? Good for you, Randy. Okay. Anyway, any questions on any of the stuff that we've come across? If you have the PDF, you'll see I took a different approach to this. All right, instead of me explaining to taking the rights and the lefts out, I just wrote the notation out. All right, line 1 of the PDF is the stick control book minus the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's telling me where the action's going to be. I go to line 2. I'm on all the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But I'm referring to this as with a jazz feel or syncopated. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Okay, this is where I got it. 1, 2. We're on line 3 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3. Now you want to do it slow. You want to make sure you're getting the consistent sound. The downstroke, the tap, and the upstroke sound the same. You have a first 1. You have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Notice my taps and my free stroke and my upstroke all sound the same. That's the importance of this lesson. You know, it's not about, people refer to us as molar. This is not molar. It's not stone. It's the laws of physics. I hit a drum from this point, I'm going to get a louder sound. I hit the drum from this point, I get a lighter sound. Okay? Simple. I want a little louder sound. I lengthen the distance of impact. That's the object. All right, like I was telling you, 1, 2 is half of this. This is. Okay. All right. Number 5 is the paradiddle sticking. 1 and 2 and 3, and there you go. 4. And line number 5. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Got it? Pablo, you understand that? Let me just give you one more different way to do this. It's a fun way, and you build endurance. You get a hell of a left hand. If I'm playing my bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to play my left hand constant, triplets, no accent, just I'm playing triplets. 1, 2, 3, nice and easy. And I had that going on constant, so I could refer to that as an ostinato pattern because it's constant. Now I'm going to take the line number 1. It's telling me it wants an accent on the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to hit 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and against that pattern. I go to line 2. the accent on the triplet falls to the duh. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 1 and the 2 and the 4 and so I have now. I'm using the heel and toe method with the left foot. I'm thinking, I'm not thinking any melody line. I'm not thinking any verse or chorus or section of a tune. It's just I'm thinking eighth note triplets. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. And my hi-hat, I'm using heel and toe. My heel's on the count of 1. That opens up the hi-hat. And my toe comes down. And my heel comes up on the count of 2. My heel comes down on the count of 3, opens up the hi-hat, and then on the count of 4, my heel comes up, bring down the hi-hat with the toe. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1, 2. So now I have this. I'm playing 1, 2. I want to make a consistent sound. I don't want to hear sloppy, so I can't even do that. All right, so we have nice and slow. Line 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So then I'm going to combine line 1 and line 2. I'll do line 1, 2 measures, and go into line 2, 2 measures, and back to line 1 with that method. 1, 2, 3, here you go. Now I'll do the same thing, but I'll eliminate the right hand. And I'm going to play the accents just with the bass drum. For example, line 1 would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 2 would be 1, 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the. Sorry. So on and so forth. Got it? It's an easy thing. And it's a good exercise, and we expand on it. Oh, excuse me. No questions. See, tonight we're going to be working with the 6-stroke roll again. And we're going to do some funk patterns. So we're just going to randomly do funk. I'm going to write a pattern out. I'm going to send out a PDF. Write a few patterns out and break each one down. No fatback, just funk. What is funk? Yeah, funk is funk, man, you know. 1. So on and so forth. All right, no questions. Anything in particular you want me to go over, Randy or Pablo? Your choice. Anything, guys? Some blues? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Randy, when I play blues, you know, there's a 12-bar blues, which is a jazz standard. A blues gig is like blues, man. Like, you know, I get away from my friend or whatever. Is that what kind of blues we talking about here? Because the blues is not just the blues. When I play the blues, it's either in 6/8. I go to 3/8, 3/4, 6/8, 12/8, 9/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that what you're talking about, Randy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. What are you talking about, Randy? A tune like Solar from Miles Davis. Oh, okay. 12/8, Louis Jordan. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Now you could subdivide that depending on the phrasing. You know, if it's 6/8, 9/8, you can make it 5/8, 5/8, and 2/8. There's a lot of fun you could have with the blues. It depends on the guitar player, whom you're playing with, or the people you're playing with, rather. Where are you from, Randy? Again, you're. Oh, Jesus, what an old fart I am. All right. If there is no more questions, I will be back tonight on my site, www.mattpatelalivelessons.com. Tonight we're going to work on some funk, Muddy Waters. All right, that's cool. That's just a slow shuffle funk kind of thing. All right, that's cool. No questions. Oklahoma. Okay. You coming to Jersey anytime soon, Randy? We could hook up. You did mention. You coming to anytime soon to New Jersey? If you do, we could hook up, man. All right. Pablo, thank you for coming by. And whoever else is here that didn't get into, in the next 6 months. That's cool. And whoever didn't get into the chat, I appreciate that. You need to get into the chat, ask some questions, I'll do some requests, you know. Yeah, we will, Randy. We'll definitely get together. I'll even let you broadcast if you'd like. All right, I'm going to close it up until tonight at 7:30. Any questions, gentlemen? I'll be back on this site Wednesday, 4 p.m.